Today's training inspired by Tony Robbins. It's picking someone you admire, identifying how they achieve what they achieved or what you admire about them, and looking for the breadcrumbs of how they achieved what they've achieved and looking for that level of success and taking inspiration from that as a person. Here it is. So pick one person that you admire, write that individual down on your page, and then what I'd like you to do is to write down the areas that you admire about them. So it could be somebody famous, it could be somebody, David Goggins is a famous person, could be a sports person, could be a business person, it could be somebody in your family, it could be somebody X, Y, Z, okay? So what we think about is somebody who's famous, or somebody that's in your family, or like somebody that you admire, okay? So when you think of admiration, I don't want it to be on a love basis. I want it to be on this person has a level of skill, a level of something that I would aspire to have and would like to learn from that person. Not in a way of jealousy, not in this person's got a really X, Y, and Z, he's a bell end, right? It's in a way of admiration. So this is a tool used by Tony Robbins, and this is why you'll find, like if you speak to me about who do I follow and where do I get information from, there's certain areas of my life that I get information from people. I get my health and nutrition advice from things like creatine, protein intake, etc. from people like, from Andrew Huberman. I get my fitness workout type mentality and rough plan from James Smith. And X, Y, and Z. I get a lot of sales acumen and sales training from people like Tony Robbins. I don't get it from Tony Robbins. From people like Jordan Belfort and Grant Cardone. But it might be that you don't take, Grant Cardone's sometimes a sexist podcast and asking people to send pictures of their wives. You may not take that element of that individual from, but you will take an element from him. For example, Andrew Tate, very controversial character, but you may take an element from Andrew Tate, or a large element from Andrew Tate, but you might say, okay, how will you communicate about women I'm not as comfortable with, but when you talk about being X or Y or this or fit and healthy and looking in shape and doing this and protecting people, I admire that element of him. So using somebody you have a level of admiration from and thinking about that individual and what you can take from that person, okay? So it could be that it's a fictional character and it's like a Harvey Specter. There's enough stuff online about what suits Harvey Specter wears, I don't know different types of suits, but the different types of suits he wears, the shirts he wears, the cut that he wears. I'm sure there's the hair gel he uses to a certain extent. But what it is it's being able to look at somebody else, not with envy, but with admiration, and looking to acquire those skills. Because no matter what you look for in life, there is a huge amount of successful people, and we've never been in an era where there's access, where you could even go on platforms where you could pay to speak to a Jordan Belfort, a Grant Cardone, an Alex Rawlings, or whatever else, okay? And you could literally spend $30,000 and do an hour's coaching time with Alex Rawlings or Grant Cardone or whoever it is. I don't know if that's the exact accurate figure. But what you can do is you can learn from them, because success leaves patterns. Success leaves the trail of breadcrumbs to what you want to achieve. So if you want to achieve somebody so let's say one of the people you admire is somebody who was previously unconfident and now comes across as a confident individual. You want to see David Goggins transitions from being whatever weight he was to now being an absolute fucking animal, right? You've got that level of transition, you can see that. So how do you see what they did and what they changed in order to find it? Right? This is a really useful exercise for finding intelligent people and then being able to narrow down, but not having to take everything from that person. So just because you follow Piers Morgan doesn't mean that you love Piers Morgan. It might just mean that Piers Morgan, from where he got to where you are now, is the admiration. Or it might be that you really like Piers Morgan's suits, or the fact that he's on TV, or whatever else. There might be an element of someone that you follow that might be, to some people, an absolute wanker, but to other people, an absolute legend. Okay? It might be that you prefer Messi over Ronaldo. It might be that you do X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is, because Messi trained harder than Ronaldo, or Ronaldo trained harder than Messi. I don't know which one's got the story behind it, but that level of it. So what I want you to do is shout out who you've got, and then share why you admire them. Who wants to go first?
I'll say so.
Okay, and why?
Well, I started watching Suits years ago, and I've always binged the first season. The reason why is because in that season you get to see how tenacious and confident Harvey is. So he doesn't kind of deep dive in terms of like the storyline and everything. And yeah, just admire how he's every time there's like a setback, he always tends to turn it around.
Okay. Hedge?
I picked Reshma Sojani, so she's like a first, I think she's a first generation person from India, and she's based in America, and she talks about how teaching girls how to code, and what I like about her and admire about her is just how it isn't that just because you're a girl you have to play with a Barbie doll, and it has to be a certain way. It's about breaking certain stereotypes and just the confidence that she commands when she holds conferences and when she communicates. I really admire that.
Okay, Sean?
I chose Pedro's Coolio.
Okay.
The reason being overcoming adversity, there's a lot of mindset, but also health and getting things done. So identifying the problem, but more important that this isn't a solution than just pushing through it.
Are you choosing Matthew McConaughey?
No, I'll scroll down Frank Spector. Tristan Tate.
Tristan Tate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I don't think there's a single human being that I've ever personally watched that has better articulation than him. The way he speaks, I've never heard that stutter whatsoever. Everything he said powerfully. He's confident the way he holds himself and is likely to his work is, it's something you could admire.
Great, a very underrated orator, and you could argue better than Andrew to a certain, only because of his accent and his well-spoken nature, but also looks like a Greek god as well, to be fair. So that no doubt helps.